Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to PTM Racing TV, the Green Mountain Grill's Fast and Fun Truck Series. Last week, the Windy City helped push Nathan Meyer into the winner's circle and then picked him up in a tornado and dropped him off here in Kansas for a Christmas celebration. We won't be seeing Dorothy and Toto tonight, though, but we will be seeing that man, Craig Janzik, the fastest in practice, the points leader, pretty much dominant so far tonight. We will see him coming around here trying to widen his lead in front of James Harris and Eli tonight. They are running different Christmas paint schemes as they will not be racing next week due to the holidays. So we are celebrating Christmas at Kansas this evening. Thank y'all for tuning in. Definitely want to tell you, these guys, right before they went out to qualifying, all of them ran out, refilled their Green Mountain Grills, got their turkeys and their steaks cooking and everything. They are monitoring it by Wi-Fi while they're racing tonight so they don't overcook, undercook, or any of that. And they got some great recipes from the Green Mountain Grills website. Definitely go check out Green Mountain Grills. Tonight's race is brought to you by Blackstone Management Group. They are talent and event management group for motorsports. So if you are a driver or have an event or have a racetrack or have anything racing related, those are the guys you probably want to talk to. They are a big part of the Fast and Fun Truck Series and and help out with the Cup Series as well. Got to thank them for being on board and powering tonight's race, as Craig is out there giving us some donuts after getting his qualifying lap, because he knows so far he is on the pole, but got a few more left to qualify before we kick off tonight. However, before we do kick off tonight for 110 laps here at Kansas, it is a two-stage race tonight. 45 laps is the first stage, 65 laps is the second stage. They have one fast repair and 4 extra sets of tires. They are going to need them. Kansas eats tires up like crazy. You'll see most of these guys running a middle to high line all night long and making passes to the inside, which is the exact opposite you see at most of these tracks. The reason for that is you go down to the inside, it will eat the tires away. However, this is a tire saving and a strategy track. I was told before the race, John Thacker has a tire and pit strategy tonight, and he said it will probably go out the window. And John, if you're listening, just a reminder, don't throw the race away for pit strategy. There's your weekly reminder, sir. Got several different paint schemes we'll be looking at tonight. James Harris is the Grinch. He's going to try and steal a win away from Craig Janzik. But Craig Janzik, as you saw on the hood of his car, has a bag of coal that he is planning on leaving with James Harris. Might even throw it on his windshield and make it impossible for James to see. There is no telling what's going to happen here tonight. Kansas is a 1.5 mile track. They are running about 31 to 32 second laps. They will slow down as time goes on, but their average laps will run about 32, 33 seconds a lap. They have 17 to 20 degree progressive turns, so as you go up higher in the turn, there is more banking. That is why we'll see these guys running on the outside quite a bit tonight. 9 to 11 degree progressive banking on the front straightaway, and 5 degrees just straight up normal banking on the back straightaway. As we count down the last 30 seconds of qualifying, we're going to go over the qualifying order for the race tonight. And looks like starting on the pole tonight will be Craig Janzik, and he will be immediately followed by last week's winner, Nathan Meyer. Third will be Stephen Pless. Fourth will be Sheldon Pierce, and Brian Lorenzo rounds out the top 5. Robert Wynn Jr. is in 7th tonight. Eli Childs back in 8th. James Harris, Robert Wynn Sr. round out the top 10. Then we have Kevin Kirchar, Russ Kilgore, Brandon Ball, Stephen Clegg, Garth Snyder, Richard Fornshell, Daniel Starner, Gary Lynch, Jonathan Diamond, and Jacob Givens round out your top 20, followed by Stephen Madden, John Thacker, Brian Rowell, and Craig Hazlip, and George Young. Got through all of those right before they got done, started getting out on the track. We will be talking to some of the drivers tonight. We will do a ride along with probably a leader at some point. We might even get one of the cars right behind him or a couple cars back so we can see what it's like to go around this 1.5-mile track in the draft. Currently, Craig Janzik leads the points, but he only has a 2-point lead after last week. After him and James Harris got together, he only has a 2-point lead over James. Eli Childs is in third. He is 9 points behind James, 11 points behind Craig. Robert Wynn Sr. is 29 points back from the leader. Stephen Clegg is a little bit further, about almost 50 points back. Then that rounds out your top 5, and then Jonathan Diamond, Robert Wynn Jr., Gary Lynch, Sheldon Pearson, and John Thacker round out your top 10. John Thacker rounding out your top 10, but he has a strategy. He is starting back in 22nd, although we've seen him move to the front rapidly in most of these races, so we'll see if he can do it again tonight. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Robert Wynn Sr. back there in 10th. This is a tire-saving kind of track, so I would expect Robert Wynn to be at the front towards the end when nobody else is. We saw heartbreak last week when he ran out of gas on the last lap. I was cheering the guy on. That was one heck of a run. We saw him pull off a similar miracle in Texas, but just didn't have the wind behind him in Chicago last week. Hopefully he'll have he'll be able to avoid the tornadoes in Kansas tonight. And as the guys are finally getting lined up, they're about to come out. Everybody's doing their last minute check of their Green Mountain grills, making sure their wood pellets are out there and ready to go. And there goes the pace car driving like a crazy person. There have been a couple of pace car glitches caught this week in iRacing since the most recent updates. I'd imagine we'll see some more updates, but we might get to see some hilarity out of it. And I have to give a shout out to Matt Moniak. Sorry, Matt. I just stopped right there. Matt Moniak is usually in the booth with me. Unfortunately, tonight he couldn't be available to do race control, so going to miss out having him with me tonight, but we will soldier on and hopefully do a great job for him, hoping he's listening. And they are coming around. We'll wait for the pace car to drop off here. There goes the pace car. Craig Janzik will control the first start. Starting on the inside weirdly tonight. Craig usually likes that outside, but the green flag is in the air and they are off. Craig and Nathan are side by side going into 1 and 2. Now once this field settles in and gets lined up, they will split up a bit. The guys that are burning up their tires, Craig drifts up very quickly. Nathan makes a power move underneath him, doing the crossover maneuver in that 24 car. And they are followed right behind by Stephen Pless, Sheldon Pearson. Looks like it's a little contact. Everybody gets away cleanly. Some of that might be due to iRacing patch this morning, and there's been a few issues with connectivity throughout all the servers this afternoon, so we'll see. Hopefully that will not come into play. Hopefully we won't have any netcode issues, and this thing will stay green all night except for our break at lap 45. Coming to the end of lap 2, the 24 Nathan Myers is currently leading. Now we did talk about it last week. They did fix some of the upgraded the aerodynamics up there by the wall. That's going to come into play as the number 21. There goes Craig Janzik again to the inside. These guys back here that got a little stretched out there are loving watching this. These two got away pretty quickly, but as long as they're staying side by side battling, that gives the rest of the field a chance to catch up and save a little bit of tires. Looks like Craig drops down below the white line to complete lap 4. And as they come out of turn 2, Nathan Myers, like we said earlier, the low line eats the tires, but the high line is the place to be, and the middle line tends to be about the fastest. The high line will be the fastest in the long run, but you got to stay up there the whole time, save those tires, and then in about 10, 15, 20 laps, we'll start seeing them coming back. As we watch this battle for the lead going on, was not expecting this much attack this early in the race, but Craig Janzik is trying to get those laps led points. And it looks like we have got somebody on the move. There is the Grinch. He is coming for Craig already. Started in 9th, worked his way up to 4th already. He is a man on a mission tonight. He said he's going to put that Grinch, take him to victory lane tonight. So he's got a little bit of extra help from the Grinch there tonight. And we will try and highlight all of the awesome paint schemes that they have going on tonight. A few I'll point out we'll get to here in just a little bit. Brian Lorenzo is running A Nightmare Before Christmas. Richard Fornshell is running A Muppets Christmas. And there is even a South Park Christmas out there. We'll have to go track that one down. Let's see if we can find that one right quick. I do believe we have found that. There is the number 20, Jacob Givens, driving the South Park Christmas, surrounded by Robert Wynn Sr. in the 16. Sitting right there behind him. I don't think that Metallica did a Christmas album, unfortunately. So he is driving a Coca-Cola paint scheme, Coca-Cola Christmas with the polar bears. And got to give a shout out to James Harris. He put a lot of these paint jobs together for these guys. He does some amazing work. Even done a logo or two for me. So I got to give him a big shout out as we watch the 44 moving up there into the 3rd position already and charging toward the front. He wants some points and he wants a win. In fact, we might just go for a ride with him as he comes through 3 and 4. When he gets a little closer to the front straightaway, we'll hop in his truck and take a lap around this 1.5 mile track. And they come out of turn 4. Across the start-finish line, he is hanging out on the outside. You can drop down there below the white line, as we saw Craig Janzik doing. Watching James kind of take that middle line, drifts out to the wall, hanging out back there behind the 24 Bud Light truck. Gets out of the gas just a little bit, getting into 3, allows the front end to set down, get some grip, and take off. And there goes James below the white line. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a lap of Kansas Motor Speedway. That is a very fast lap. James did that lap in 31.1 seconds. Try and get a little bit closer in and take a look at some of these Christmas paint schemes here tonight. Looks like the 69 of Stephen Pless is running, I believe it said, A Christmas Carol on the side. And of course there is the 21. And it looks like Craig Janzik is carrying around that bag of coal for anybody who tries to take away his points lead. And right behind him, that's a mix. It looks like he's got some Grinch and some Looney Tunes on there as well tonight. That is the number 34, Robert Lawrence. Behind him is the number 8, back the blue. These guys, a lot of these drivers here tonight are servicemen, police officers, first responders, firefighters, EMTs, and correctional officers. A lot of support for the guys that go out there, protect our country, first responders on the scene. So big shout out to them, and a big shout out to Sheldon Pearson for driving that paint scheme tonight. Right behind him, there is Eli Childs. He's got a young man in a pink bunny outfit that's probably going to end up shooting his eye out before the night's out. Be careful of that guy there, Eli. Right behind him, we have Robert Wynn Jr. He is running his usual, looks like Black Panther Captain Marvel paint scheme this evening. We have the 91 of Kevin Kirchar in the Champion battery truck. It looks like that 28 is running Christmas Vacation. Let's take a better look at that. It is running the Christmas Vacation paint scheme. We'll hop back up front and see what's happening up here right now. We'll take a look at some more of these trucks throughout the night, but there is the 24 Nathan Meyer. He is currently leading. He's got about a half a second lead on James Harris in the 44. And James and Craig Janzik battling for first in the points. They are side by side on the track currently. There you see him. The number 69 is Stephen Pless sitting right behind him, is probably enjoying this. He's able to save his tires and not lose the draft. That's going to be a big help here in about another 5 or 10 laps. It will be a bit of a stretch if they can go the entire first segment on fuel. We'll have to wait and see. Do believe they can make it, but just barely. We will see at least one pit stop in the second stage, I do believe. Unless you are Robert Wynn Sr., in which case probably not. I honestly would not be surprised to see Robert Wynn dominate one of these races without ever stopping, just because he's so good at saving his stuff. And the 21 of Craig Janzik we saw just moved back up into the second position. And it looks like we've got somebody who has saved his tires and moved through the field. There's the 34, Robert Lawrence. He is up in fourth, looking for third already. And we are going to start seeing some of these guys that have, you'll be able to tell the guys who save tires versus the ones who have burned their tires up here in a few moments as they start to spread out. The guys that have been saving, they're going to start moving forward, and the guys who have burned their stuff up are going to go backwards very, very quickly in the next 5 to 10 laps. As they come out of turn 4, we're going to start lap 20 of 110. Ooh, getting a little dicey right there. I did mention they do have one fast repair for tonight, 4 extra sets of tires, and I guarantee you in about 10 more laps, just about everybody's going to want those. They could stretch it out as we see the 34 Robert Lawrence making the move on James Harris, moving up into the third position. Robert Lawrence has been moving forward for quite a bit now. He started in 6th. He dropped back a few spots early, just saving the tires, getting them up to heat, and now he is coming forward. James Harris, the Grinch, is not happy about that. He is going to come charging back. Nope. Looked like he thought better of it. He's saving his stuff just a little bit. Like I said, we will see smoke a few times tonight from a few of these guys. It is just the, hopefully it's just going to be some network connectivity issues, but due to the patches this morning, so hopefully we won't see anything other than that. Hopefully tonight will go all but one yellow, and that'll be the stage break. They do the stage break a little bit early instead of splitting it in half. That forces these guys to think and strategize and plan for the long run in the second part of the race. That benefits a guy like that number 16 there, Robert Wynn Sr. We've seen him save for a ton at Texas, saved all his tires, his fuel, and only had about a half dozen or so cars on the lead lap. So even though he is currently running in 13th, he's not one to count out just yet, because he is going to start moving forward. As we're seeing right now, he's getting underneath the, looks like that is Stephen Clegg there. Yep, that is Stephen Clegg in that number 22 car on the outside. And we will hop back up to check on our leader once again. There is the 24. Nathan Myers is doing an amazing job. First part of this race, 24 laps completed. He has a 1.7 second lead over second place Craig Janzik. James Harris is falling back. There is James. He has dropped back into 5th position. But look, Craig Janzik in the 21. He suddenly dropped back. Not sure if he had some contact with the wall. Possibly going through that. I'd find it unlikely to see Craig wear out his tires. He puts in an average of averages about 200 laps of practice a week for this race. So I had to think about that one for a minute. I knew the number. Right behind him is the 72. That is Garth Snyder. He's got quite a decorative Christmas theme tonight. He's got Santa Claus on the hood, and hopefully Rudolph is on there to pull him to the front. But it is all Nathan Myers all the time. He did say before the race that I would be calling his second consecutive win tonight, and he is not, and he is looking like he's going to try and make good on that. Looks like Richard Fornshell might be having some problems in the number 90. Looks like he is on pit road currently. And we have a change in the second place. Oh, somebody's getting loose down there on the inside. Looks like that is the number 91, Kevin Kirchard, just talking about him in that Champion Power Truck. Looks like he was getting a little loose. You can see these tires are really starting to wear, but he has really moved up in that 91 truck. He started in 11th, currently running in 3rd. And looks like he might still have something for that 34 truck. You will notice some of these guys go below the white line and some of them stay above, and the guys above the white line will actually save some tires. Going below that white line does throw it is a different kind of banking. The front straightaway at the bottom of the front straightaway is banked at 9 degrees, but that apron is flat, so jumping up and down over that white line does upset the truck and does cause extra tire wear. I'd be willing to bet that Robert Wynn Sr. never goes below that yellow or that white line. Let's go watch and see. He's probably going to prove me wrong here. He is currently running in 12th position. And he's also currently running some of the fastest laps on the track. He is still running in the 32.8s. Everyone else is running 32.9 to 33. And thank you for proving me wrong there, Robert. I figured he would be one to stay up on the banking, save the tires. It is a little bit faster around the bottom, but if you have a drafting partner, and you stay up off the apron, it really does not make a huge difference. And we saw Kevin Kirchar get a little bit loose earlier trying to get around the 34, but he finally managed to pull it off. As they come down the back straightaway, that is the 91 still battling with as Kevin Kirchar again. He started 11th, is already up to second after 32 laps. We are just 13 laps shy. Yep, 13 laps shy of the stage break. And I would bet everybody will be on pit road. We're already starting to see some of the tire wear taking effect on some of these guys. And it looks like Kevin Kirchar might actually be reeling in the number 24 of Nathan Meyer tonight. Looks like Kevin Kirchar has been faster the last couple laps. He's showing about a 1.8 second lead currently. Just a few laps ago, he had over a 2-second lead when they were back there battling. But it looks like Robert Lawrence, now that they're battling again, Nathan Meyer's going to love looking in his rearview mirror and seeing this battle going on. And remember, Kansas and Chicago are very similar tracks. Chicago has a little bit of an interesting entry into... Oh, the 34 is in the outside wall. He just drifted up too high, got stuck, and he is losing a lot of positions. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions. He's going to lose a 6th possibly. Drop back to 7th from 2nd place. And I would imagine he has a little bit of damage on the outside of his car right now. And there is the 28. We've got a several car battle going on right here. The number 8 of Eli Childs there on the outside was currently running in about 6th place. So this is for, looks like 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th right now. And they are too wide coming through 1 and 2. They do get a bonus point for being first place at the stage break. And, nope, swap that. It's 2 points at the stage break and 1 point for leading the most laps. So Nathan Meyer is definitely looking like he's going to be able to, if he keeps this up, he'll be able to get the extra point for leading the most laps and possibly get the bonus points. But these guys are not done yet. They are still trying to close that gap, as Kevin Kirchar in the number 91 has closed within 0.8 of a second to the 24 car. We'll check Kevin's lap times as he comes around. This lap, the last lap, he was half a second faster a lap. And the fastest truck on track that last lap was Robert Wynn Jr. in that Marvel truck. He is currently back there running in 9th. And we did find out several weeks ago when we talked to when I talked to Robert Wynn Sr. that him and Jr. do talk. They're in the same house, so they do talk throughout the race. They work together as much as possible, but when it gets down to the end of the race, it is going to be every man for himself between those two. I would hate to be in that house if one or the other of them accidentally got into the other one at the end of the race. But as they run right now, it looks like Kevin Kirchar has gained another couple of tenths. He has been a 1/10 of a second faster every lap, and he should be about to where he can get in the draft of Nathan Meyer. With 5 laps left in the stage, this might not be quite over yet. It looked like Nathan Meyer was just going to run away with this first stage, but Kevin Kirchar is not letting that happen. They have opened up a sizable lead over Eli Childs. It is 2.5 seconds back from Kevin to Eli. As they come across the start-finish line, the gap is less than half a second now. And Kevin Kirchar has really cranked it up, almost 0.2 of a second faster that last lap. With 4 laps left, I think Kevin might actually, if he can keep this pace up, he might actually be able to pull this stage win off. He's got 4 laps to get it done. Excuse me. Close within, he is down to about 0.4 of a second. As they come out of turn 2, coming down the back straightaway, we will see them coming under caution in just a couple of laps for their stage break. But that last lap, it was Nathan Myers that was not only faster than Kevin Kirchar, but fastest on the track. He was almost 0.2 of a second faster than Kevin Kirchar last time in that number 24 truck up there. So Kevin Kirchar might be running out of time. And the timing is going to run out just perfectly because it looks like Brandon Ball and Brian Lorenzo and Stephen Pless, John Thacker were right back there within lapping distance. As they come through 3 and 4, we should see the caution either right now or when they complete lap 45. I believe they'll throw it now. Don't have Matt Moniak with us tonight, unfortunately, and there is the caution. So we ran 45 green flag laps. These guys definitely know what they have. They know how far they can stretch their fuel. They know everything they are going to know for tonight. We will wait for Nathan to hit pit road, and then we'll see if we can pull him in and talk to him real quick. Don't want to try and interrupt him when his spotter is counting him down pit stops. And while we're waiting on him, we'll just mention, definitely go check out Green Mountain Grills for your Christmas dinner. You can get a new grill and get some great recipes for your dinner. And as I said, all these guys are actually cooking on their Green Mountain Grills right now using their Wi-Fi app that allows them to monitor and control temperatures. And Nathan Meyer is on pit road. Once he gets out of pit road, we will pull him in. Looks like we have somebody that missed their pit stall and is having to back way up down the pit road. We'll have to go and see who that was. Nathan Myers, Doug in the booth. You got me?
I think so. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Good deal. So,
yeah, what's up?
You were pretty dominant, but the last 10-15 laps, it looked like Kevin was coming on hard. Did you wear your stuff out, or did you have something saved?
No, I wasn't in the draft all race, so I didn't have any. I was going to run out of gas if I didn't pull back a little bit, so I was running about 3/4 the last 10-15, just to save enough, and I had half a gallon left at the end.
Holy cow, that is stretching your mileage to the absolute limit there.
Yeah.
Well, you've definitely had the dominant car tonight, and you did say earlier I'd be talking to you in Victory Circle tonight. You still feeling pretty confident about that?
Yeah, man, this is one of my favorite tracks, and I always do well here when the official series go here, so I enjoy coming here.
Well, that is awesome. Well, hopefully you don't run into any tornadoes, and hopefully the Grinch doesn't steal your win tonight.
Yeah, I hope so. Thanks, Doug.
All right, thanks, Nathan. And that was Nathan Meyer, the driver of the number 24 truck. pretty much the dominant force tonight. And trying to look back and see. It may be a minute before we figure out who that was reversing on pit road. And trust me, folks, we have all been there. Oftentimes you're better off reversing than trying to drive all the way around. And we are 1 lap to green. We've got the 13 of Eli Childs now up in second place on the outside. Nathan Myers will take the lead when the pace car drops off. It looks like he is looking to get a jump. Will he be trying to trick these guys, though? They have just under 65 laps to go. Looks like about 62 laps to go on the restart. Nathan Myers takes the green, gets a big jump on the 13 of Eli Childs, the number 91 of Kevin Kirchar. But remember, Kevin Kirchar started in 11th at the beginning of the race, and through that 45-lap run, he moved way up. And we know that Nathan Meyer can only make it about 45.5 laps on fuel. So whoever is up front without a draft is going to have to save some fuel and plan their pit strategy. And we will see if John Thacker's pit strategy pays off tonight. He is currently back in the 22nd position. But I got to give a shout out to John Thacker. He had some pit strategy issues a couple of races ago and had it happen a couple of races in a row. Still a great attitude about it. He makes more jokes about it than anybody else does. And that is the great attitude. This league is a great bunch of guys. And Nathan Meyer has already checked out to a 9/10 of a second lead over Craig Janzik, who has moved up. There's our points leader, Craig Janzik, currently running in second spot. He qualified first. He was first in all of practice, and he does have a bag of coal for anybody that tries to ruin his championship tonight. However, he only has a 2-point lead over James Harris. James is currently running in fourth, so without either of them getting the bonus points for the stage win, and it does not look like either of them is going to get bonus points for leading the most laps, it does not look like they are going to make, either one of them can make a whole lot of headway unless there's trouble later on. We did see a little bit of trouble between them last week in Chicago, but obviously Craig is charging back to the front. It looks like the number 13 of Eli Childs, he restarted on the outside. He has drifted back to 7th position. Have to watch. I did not see any contact from him. Doesn't look like he has any damage to the right side or anywhere else on the truck, so he might be okay. Might just be saving those tires and fuel. Now they restarted on lap 48, which means they can make it to about lap 103, 104. These guys in the draft might make it to 105, but there's only one driver out here that could realistically make the distance, and he is back in 17th. That is the number 16, Robert Wynn. Or the son could do it. We've seen him pull off some crazy runs in that number 89 truck. At Texas, he ran almost as long as Dad did, so we'll see if he's currently running 9th. We'll see if he can pull something off tonight as well. There is Eli Childs. He has dropped back to 8th after the restart. But it looks like he is fine, and he might just be playing with these guys a little bit. Right in front of him is the number 20. That is Jacob Givens. And he is chasing down the 28 of Russ Kilgore. And it looks like he's going to pass Russ Kilgore. We timed that checking in on them just right. He is going to take that position, and that'll move him up to 6th. Not a lot of battle right now. These guys are going to save their tires as much as possible. They know now that we're at the halfway point, they know they have got to save and save and save. And looks like there is a driver in saving mode right now, Nathan Meyer. He's got about 0.6 of a second lead on these guys. And if I had to guess, he is not pushing full throttle right now. He might actually be back there saving, but here comes James Harris moving up into 2nd position. And James Harris is charging forward. James actually has the best lap of the race and the best lap. Last lap, he was the fastest at 31.5, 0.3 of a second faster than Nathan Meyer. He is coming forward. He said his goal was to run that middle line tonight, try and save his tires, but still be able to be aggressive. And it looks like he's not saving a whole lot right now, because right behind him is Mr. Janzik charging toward the front. He is not going to let James get away from him tonight. A little over half a dozen races left to go in the season. Every point is going to start to count after, especially after last week at Chicago. Craig Janzik went into last week with an 11-point lead, comes out with a 2-point lead. So he is definitely trying to charge forward. Next week they'll be at Kentucky. The following week they were scheduled for Chicago. However, after doing Chicago last week, they're talking about swapping to Watkins Glen. So we'll see how the schedule plays out in the next 2 weeks. Then they're on to Phoenix, Michigan, Pocono, Atlanta, Iowa, and Vegas. Oh, and just for fun, Phoenix and Iowa will both be night races. I'd say they should try Watkins Glen at night, but these trucks don't have headlights. And as we were watching, here comes James Harris. He's been the fastest car on the track the last several laps, and he is starting to make that move for the lead. How hard is Nathan going to fight him? With 51 laps to go, they've completed 60 laps, so in just a couple of laps, Nathan will secure the bonus points for most laps led. And Nathan was sitting just outside the top 10 in points before last week, or sitting back a little further back in the points before last week. He moved up a couple of spots, and I'd imagine if he can continue to dominate, he's probably going to move up a few more spots tonight. But with so few races, they're over halfway through the season. Don't know if he'll be able to pull all the way back up. Time will tell. Just looking at the points going into last week, it closed up the front three quite a bit. There was a 20-point difference between first and third last week. Now there's only an 11-point difference. So this championship battle is really starting to heat up as they are side by side on the track tonight. As they come around, we are counting down 48 laps to go. And the 21 makes the move. He is going to try and take the second position, as Craig Janzik looks like he's going to get a little bit of help from behind from Robert Lawrence. Get a little bit of a push as they go down into 1 and 2, but James Harris on that high line, as we mentioned earlier in the race, that high line is faster on the long run, and that 21 is going to be eating his tires up trying to hold that bottom line. At 34, Robert Lawrence moves to the outside, gives a 44 a bit of a push. as they dive off into turn one. Just taking a look over some of these positions. So far, the big mover tonight was that 20 car. There's the 20 car of Jacob Givens. He started in 20th. He's up in 6th. Right behind him, looks like that is the 39. Jonathan Diamond started in 19th, up to 7th. Of course, Kevin Kirchar is right in front of them in the 91. He started 11th. He moved up to 5th, and I would imagine late in the run, as he is currently right there with that lead pack, and we saw how much he came on late in the run, we might be seeing that him going into attack mode now, as he drops down under Craig Janzik, going through 3 and 4. Being careful not to drift up into him, but looks like he's going to try and get the 44 of James Harris. Pulls that off and taking Craig Janzik with him tonight. Craig's been trying to get past the 44 car for several laps. We'll see if he can do it now that he's got a little bit of help in front of him. And that number 24 of Nathan Meyer, not much to report. He has got a 1.5 second lead over the 34 of Robert Lawrence up there. And I am sure he is hearing on the radio that these guys are back here and they are battling. And that is exactly what he wants to see. With that 34 truck, he is definitely trying to close the gap. The last lap, he was tenth and a half of a second faster than the 24 of Nathan Meyer, and he is starting to pour it on. We saw this late in the run last time. A couple of these guys really started coming on, including the man who has now moved up into 3rd place. We saw him passing, and he is starting to open up a gap behind the James Harris, who's in 4th. He is starting to chase down Robert Lawrence and Nathan Myers as well. And another man who just turned the fastest lap of the race of this run so far anyways, that number 13. That is Eli Childs. He is starting to charge back to the front again. We saw Eli restarted after the stage break. He restarted to the outside. And he fell back a little bit. Fell back to about 10th or 11th, and now he's starting to charge forward. We saw late in that last run, and we saw it last week. We've seen it several times with this man. He's very, very quiet early in the run, but if it stays green, he is coming to the front, and he's going to do it quickly. Well, right now, there is where the battle is. The number 91, Kevin Kirchar, trying to chase down the 34 of Robert Lawrence, the 24 Nathan Meyer. And it looks like he is actually closing the gap to Robert Lawrence rather quickly, and continues to be closing the gap on Nathan Meyer. And imagine this many laps into the run, Nathan knows he's got to save some fuel. And dropping back to 11th position, there is Daniel Starner in the 35, followed by the 8 car of Sheldon Pearson and Stephen Madden. Sheldon Pearson's currently 9th in points, so he's looking to make up some of these positions. He started in 17th. He started in 4th. He's fallen back to 12th. and is starting to work his way forward. He'd actually fallen back a little bit further. Now he's starting to work his way back towards the front, as he passes Robert Wynn Jr. in the Marvel car. And Robert Wynn Jr. is not letting him pass just yet. Captain Marvel giving him a bit of a push coming through 3 and 4. The number 35 tries to drift up in between them, catch a little momentum off the draft. Can't do it. They close that gap up, and he might actually slide back a little bit. And let's not forget, there is the 56 of John Thacker, currently 10th in points. Currently running 17th on the track. He started in 22nd tonight, so he has started moving forward. He is just 9 points behind Sheldon Pearson. And the bottom 5th through 10th place in points is only about a 29 point gap. So 5th through 10th is still up for grabs for anybody. Currently the points, Craig Janzik is first, James Harris second, Eli Childs is third, Robert Wynn Sr. is fourth, Stephen Clegg is fifth. We haven't talked about Stephen much tonight. Let's see where he is running on the track in that number 22 truck. There's Stephen Clegg. We saw a little bit of him earlier. He started in 14th, currently running in 14th. 5th in points. Jonathan Diamond right behind him in the points. But currently about 6th on the track, it looks like. There's Jonathan Diamond in the 39 truck. He is currently 6th in points, so he's looking to make up some points here tonight. Of course, we just saw Robert Wynn Jr. He is 7th in points and currently running 10th on the track. Gary Lynch, 8th in points. Where is Gary tonight? He's been a little bit quiet, hanging out back there in the back in that number 68 truck. He's making the pass currently on Robert Wynn Sr. trying to. The 22 is ducking in, and we're starting to see green flag pit stops. As Nathan Meyer continues to lead, we've got Robert Lawrence, James Harris, Craig Janzik, Jacob Givens, Eli Childs, Sheldon Pearson, Stephen Clegg, John Thacker, Brian Lorenzo, George Young, all on pit road right now. Let's hop up and see the 24 leader pitting now. Kevin Kirchar in the number 91. Looks like he is currently on pit road. Jonathan Diamond assumed 3rd place. He is also on pit road. Garth Snyder currently assuming the lead in that 72 truck. Robert Wynn Jr. and Sr., for those of you keeping track, are both still out on the track. And there is Garth Snyder. He is taking the lead with 31 laps to go. Now's when things will really start to pick up. These guys are going to come out on fresh tires. The ones left out on the track, and there's just a handful of them have been out there for 35 laps. The lap times are 1.5 seconds to 2 seconds a lap faster on fresh tires. Robert Wynn Jr. is on pit road. Looks like the only ones left out, Garth Snyder, Dan Starner, Stephen Madden, Gary Lynch, Robert Wynn Sr., and Brian Rowell. Looks like James Harris in the 44 might be having some problems on pit road. Not sure what happened there. We'll have to follow up with him. That was definitely not what he needed tonight. He is slipping way back. Robert Wynn Sr. just came down pit road. There's the number 16 on pit road. He is not going to make the usual fuel and tire gamble tonight. I think running out of fuel on the last lap last week probably bit him on trying to stretch too terribly far. But Garth Snyder is going to roll the dice here. He's been out there for 38 laps. We know he can go at least 7 more. He's been back in the draft. Gary Lynch is now on pit road. Only 4 trucks left out. And the 72 looks like, yes, he is coming to pit road. The 35 of Dane Starner has assumed the lead, followed by Stephen Madden and Brian Rowell. Some of these guys are going to stay out and gamble for a caution flag, leave half the field a lap down. Last lap, the fastest truck on track was Nathan Meyer in the 24 with a 31.2. Dan Starner ran a 33 dead. And there comes the 24 now, followed by the 21 of Craig Janzik. They've got the 26 of Stephen Madden right behind them as well on old tires. And these guys are already working on unlapping themselves. And once Dan Starner, Brian Rowell is now on pit road. Once Dan Starner makes his pit stop, looks like we might have a change for the lead. It'll be interesting to see, but it looks like after pit stop so far, showing Garth Snyder would be the first one. And there's the 35 on pit road. That only leaves the 26. Stephen Madden still out there. He has been out there for 40 laps. He is going to assume the lead. And it looks like once Stephen Madden pits, it'll be the 34 of Robert Lawrence retaking the lead, followed by Nathan Meyer in the 24. Craig Janzik and Kevin Kirchar. 26 is a little bit slower. His last lap was a 33.2. Nathan Meyer and Robert Lawrence ran a 31.7. Nathan ran a 31.3, so they are definitely charging towards the front. We'll watch this 26 for a lap and see if he pits. He is now 42 laps into the run. He could make it roughly another 4 to 5 laps, but I don't think he's going to push that far. Maybe he will. He might be hanging out there hoping for a miracle. But this has been green except for the stage break. As he completes lap 43, the 39 is coming up behind him. That 39 of Jonathan Diamond currently showing in 7th position. He is getting back onto the lead lap. Currently on the lead lap, we have Stephen Madden leading in that 26 truck. Looks like Robert Lawrence, Nathan Meyer, Craig Janzik, Kevin Kirchar, and Eli Childs are 22 to 27 seconds back and closing rapidly. And the 26 is on pit road. Robert Lawrence will reassume the lead. No, he won't. Here comes Nathan Meyer to the inside. 22 laps to go. Nathan Meyer's making a move for the lead. Can Robert Lawrence hold him off? Right behind him, they have points leader Craig Janzik. Stephen Madden had one heck of a run there, stretching the fuel to the limit, getting a few extra laps led, getting a little airtime there. Definitely well deserved. Stephen Madden's just outside the top 10 in points. Let me check. Just outside the top 10, if I remember right. He has been in the top 10 of just about every race. Just had some bad luck over a few weeks, and hopefully he'll be back up to the front early in the season. He was forced to be reckoned with, so hopefully before this season's out, we'll see him come charging back to the front as well. Right now, Robert Lawrence is managing to hold off the 24 and the 21. The 24 sitting there to the outside. Craig Janzik making the move for second to the inside, and at this point, Nathan Myers has secured the points for both the stage break and the most laps led. That'll be a huge boost for him. As we watch him come around, just taking a quick look to see. Right now, Nathan Myers is in a two-way tie with Kevin Kirchar, and he could easily, with just those 3 points, pick up several positions. So this is definitely going to benefit him. Last week benefited him greatly, and I would imagine a win here today is going to really help him jump forward. But he still has to deal with Robert Lawrence and Craig Janzik back there. And let's not forget, lurking right behind them. Oh, the 24 is off in the grass. Looks like he got a little loose coming through there. Drifts up, almost gets into the 91. No, looks like he had a little bit of, might have had some contact there. Nathan Meyer manages to hang on to it, gets right back on the back bumper of the 91 truck. Looked like he was giving him a little help down into turn 3. Now he's got a little bit of ground to make up. But that number 91, we saw him, he started way back in 11th and was moving through the field rapidly in the first stage. Here he is, he's been hanging out in the top 3, 4 ever since he got there. And our second place in points, the 44, James Harris, is currently running in 23rd, 2 laps down. I do believe he got a penalty, either a speeding or unsafe pit entry on that last green flag pit stop that has set him back. That is going to be a tough break, but that will pull the points battle to much closer together. I do believe that'll pull Eli, if not into second, right up behind him. That'll also close up the gap between second, third, and fourth back to Robert Wynn Sr. Depending on where Craig Janzik finishes, he could widen his lead substantially tonight. As we see that 24, Nathan Myers already starting to look, he's looking around trying to find a way past the 91. 14 laps to go. And as we mentioned, Eli Childs third in points, currently 5th on the track. So this night is definitely going to hurt James, but it is going to help the other top 5 trucks. Especially looks like Eli Childs is, as the points stand, I do believe Eli Childs would actually move into second place. 13 laps to go. Robert Lawrence still in the lead. But those front 4 are just nose to tail. We saw that break up a little bit early on in the race. We saw them get a bit spread out, but that front pack is not spreading out at all. So this is still any of those guys in the top 4. This is any other race. The number 91, we saw him come on very strong at the end of the first stage. So, power move by the 91, dropping down from the outside wall to the inside. He is trying to get any momentum he can. And that 24 is still lingering back there. Nathan Myers had the problem, ran through the grass, hung on to it, and he is staying right there with him. And there is the 21, your points leader, Craig Janzik. And this just goes to show when you put in 200 plus laps, that Craig Janzik makes a move to the lead. And it looks like he's going to pull the number 91, Kevin Kirchhoff, with him. 10 laps to go. As they come out of turn 2, the 91 takes the position. The 34 drops back into 3rd place. Does not look like the 24, Nathan Myers, is going to be it. The 91 makes a move to the inside, getting very close. Looks like they touch coming out of turn 4. 91 backs off of it. The 24 was losing a little bit of position. Looks like he is going to pull back up. That 91 went in way deep trying to get that first place position, drifted up. Just got a little bit of a love tap to the inside of the number 21 of Craig Janzik, but here's Craig Janzik in the lead and starting to pull away. After that incident, the number 91 is falling back to 3rd. And the 24, Nathan Meyer, he's going to make it 3 wide on the front straightaway. 8 laps to go. He moves into 3rd and is looking for 2nd on the outside. Does not make the 2nd place stick. Oh! Number 91 drifts up, gets into the 24. 24 goes into the wall, and looks like the 24's chances of winning are out the window. The number 91 is in 2nd place, manages to hold on to it. Looked like he scrubbed a little speed when he bounced off. But he is starting to charge back towards the front. But now it is the 21, Craig Janzik. And I imagine he is dumping that coal out of the bag, trying to throw it on people's windshields at this point. Through that exchange back there, he gained quite a bit. He's got a 0.7 of a second lead. He is doing 0.2 of a second lap faster than the 2 cars behind him. He is going to continue to open up this gap with 6 laps to go. He is going to gain quite a bit on the points tonight. Eli Childs in the 13. He is moving up to 4th. Looks like he is gaining a bunch of points tonight as well. The 24, Nathan Myers, that is a heartbreak. Had a couple of different issues tonight. He is still holding on to 5th place, even though he had the dominant performance early in the race. Looks like he has some damage. He will be able to limp it home with 5 laps to go. Hopefully he'll be able to hold on to some positions. Sorry to see that. We talked to Nathan earlier, and like I say, he was just the dominant truck. He was taking it easy. Back up front, it is Craig Janzik, and he has opened his lead up to 0.9 of a second. Coming to 4 to go. Number 91 of Kevin Kirchhoff and the 34. Does not look like either one of them is going to be able to do anything for that number 21 truck. Looks like that number 91 is struggling with the tires after he's been out there. These guys have been out there for 28 laps. We saw a couple of different incidents late in the first segment. After 45 laps on those tires, these guys have been out there for 28, 27, in some cases 29 and 30 laps, and their tires are getting, and they've been pushing substantially harder. Their tires are getting way more worn out, especially running that bottom line. The number 91 is going to be struggling to hold on to it. Looks like he has just burned it up. The 34 of Robert Lawrence is hoping to pull up into that 2nd place. And Eli Childs might actually close up on him. I don't know if he's got enough time to catch Robert Lawrence. He's got about 5 seconds back from Robert Lawrence, but he is definitely the 2nd fastest car on the track that lap. The fastest one back there is the 35 of Dan Starner. Caution is out. Caution is out. We will go to a green-white checkered. Let's see if we can figure out what happened. All right, looks here. Look, we're looking at the 28, Russ Kilgore, making a move to the inside of the 68 there. He just drifted up into him. They both collided, and then they collided into the wall. Both of them took substantial damage on that. And we're back with our leader, Craig Janzik. We'll see. Hey, Craig, this is Doug in the booth. You got me?
I do, sir.
So, you've been coming on strong this last part of it. You're going to have a green-white checkered. You're coming in to get tires. Are you going to be able to hold them off?
I hope so, buddy. I hope so. Let me get in my pit box here.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Yeah, I hope I can hold them off. Sorry for the interruption there. I just wanted to make sure I did it right. And,
all good, man.
I'm assuming some people stayed out, so it's always going to make things more difficult. That was the last thing I wanted to see. I can't believe I kept it off the wall for the amount of time that I did, and just hope to bring it home here, buddy.
Well, good luck to you getting back out on the track. It looks like actually everybody came down pit road, so you've got a pretty fair chance.
All right, well, that's reassuring. I hope I can talk to you again here in a couple laps, man.
All right, good luck, man. That was Craig Janzik. The number 21, when they come back around, we will see where everything shakes out. Looks like the 24, Nathan Meyer, is still on pit road. What a heartbreaking finish for him, having the dominant truck all night long. Looks like everybody that stayed out on that first set of caution, or the first set of laps, the guys that were probably a lap down, I have now duck on, and it looks like Craig Janzik will reassume the lead. For this green-white checkered, that is Robert wait a minute. Nope, sorry. That is the 68 truck down to the inside. That'd be Gary Lynch, dropped down to the inside, falling to the back of the field. I believe it's because he is one lap down, so he is falling behind. So all the lead lap cars are together. Should be coming down to one to go. Looks like Craig is going to restart on the inside this time. We'll see how that plays out in a moment. We've seen Craig most of the season on these restarts take the outside position on the restart. And part of that might be down to race control not being available tonight. So one of the admins is taking care of things on the track. And just another huge shout out to Matt, our race control guy. Miss you, buddy. Can't wait to have you back. And we are coming down to one to green. Everybody take a deep breath. We're going to need it here in a minute. So they will get the green flag. They will have one lap. If the leader takes the white flag, it is over regardless of what happens after that. However, if there's an accident or a caution before they get to the white flag, then they will have one more attempt, I believe, at the green-white checkered. We'll see how this plays out. These guys are really good about giving each other some space on these green-white checkers, trying to race each other extremely clean and extremely aggressively. So we're about to see things crank it up. Just an update, James Harris currently still back in 22nd, 2 laps down. That is a heartbreak for him. And the 21 of Craig Janzik is leading him down. Pace car is in. Craig gets a good jump on the restart. Green flag in the air. 2 laps to go. As they come down into turn 1, Craig gets quite a jump on Robert Lawrence, but Eli Childs moves up and moves into second place. He is going to come charging towards the front. He is going to try and take that position. The 21 weaving in everywhere he can, trying to break as much of the draft from that 13 truck as possible. As they come through 3 and 4, the 91 gets loose. He keeps it low. No caution, no caution. We have the white flag. No matter what happens from here, we have the white flag. Kevin Kirchard looked like he had a little bit of trouble coming out of 4. Got loose, kept it down on the apron, and we are about to see a battle for the lead as Eli Childs makes him move to the inside. 21 comes down, and Eli's going even lower. They touch. The 21 is up in the wall. The 13 of Eli Childs is going to come around and take the win. 34, Robert Lawrence finished second. It looks like Craig Janzik slipped back to 9th after that late race incident. Last lap, last turn incident. But it is Craig Janzik who is getting a Christmas gift early tonight. Or I'm sorry, Eli Childs getting his Christmas gift early tonight. And looks like they're going to go help him do his donuts real quick. Pretty common for these guys to go out and help each other with their burnout, so looks like some of these trucks are really beat up and banged up and had a bit of a rough night here, but good start to Christmas for Eli Childs for sure. Craig Janzik comes home 9th. He should still retain his lead. He had quite a lead on Eli Childs, and James Harris comes in, looks like 22nd tonight, so that was a heartbreaking finish for him. And of course, the 24 came home in 19th place after just dominating the race early. The upshot being he did get some bonus points out of that, so hopefully that helps soften the blow just a little bit. Let's see if we can talk to Eli. Hey Eli, this is Doug in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
That was a wild finish, sir.
Yes, it was.
You guys were back and forth you were trying to make a hole where there wasn't one, and he was trying to make sure there was never one. Walk us through that last lap. What were you thinking there?
I wasn't gonna lift. That's that's for sure. I was not lifting, so that was the only thought I thought about on the last lap.
Let's see. Now this, if I remember correctly, this is win number 4. Am I right?
3.
3.
3. Yep.
I'm off by 1, but with James finishing 22nd, that'll definitely move you up into second place in points. Might even take the points lead tonight. The points battle might have just tightened back up.
Yeah, that would be. I don't remember how much I was behind, but yeah, it should definitely tighten us up pretty close, honestly.
Yeah, you were 11 points behind Craig and just looks like 9 points behind James. So, yeah, that points will definitely be a lot tighter coming into this.
That's that's good to hear. Yeah, I think I'm not sure where Craig finished. Looks like 9th, so I may be just a couple of points behind him. Well, actually, I should be ahead of him with the bonus points for the win. Actually, should give me enough to be the points leader. Actually,
that is correct, and looks like actually, depending on how that all falls, Robert Wynn Sr. might actually, he came in, it looks like 8th, so the points battle, at least for the top 4, is going to get a whole lot tighter after tonight.
Yeah, it'd be good going into our 2-week break here as the points leader, and then hopefully you rest up and come back and maybe win a couple more here.
Hopefully so. Congratulations. That was a heck of a early Christmas present tonight for yourself.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
All right. You have a great night, man. Go celebrate.
All right, thanks, sir.
All right. That was race winner Eli Childs on that wild, wild finish tonight from here at Kansas Motor Speedway. For everybody here at PTM Racing TV, thank you for tuning in tonight. This was one heck of a show. Ups and downs. Guys at the front going to the back, and guys from the back coming to the front. Massive points shakeup. As you just heard Eli said, we're off for the next 2 Thursdays, but we will be back in 3 weeks. And we will be coming back to... Let's see, where are we coming back to? Ah, yes, Kentucky. We're coming back to Kentucky. So that will definitely be a tire-saving, interesting, heck of a battle. So hopefully everybody will tune back in here in just a couple weeks and watch the race at Kentucky and watch this championship play out as they come off this 2-week break, and the top 4 in points will definitely be very close together once again. So it's definitely going to be an interesting shakeup for these Fast and Fun Green Mountain Grills guys. And before I forget, definitely go check out Green Mountain Grills. Get your Christmas recipes there. They have some great stuff. Get your Christmas grill there. Cook your Christmas turkey with one of their grills. These guys have all been cooking while they've been racing with their Wi-Fi, and now they're going to go have a nice big dinner. And thanks again to Blackstone Management for coming on board for this race. And